Each year offers its memorable moments, and 2025 gave us a lot this year. The year began with the launch of a medical marijuana program that is still taking shape. We saw issues from DEI to filmmaking get attention during the session. The nation swore in a new president. Our senior senator announced his retirement, setting into motion several closely watched political campaigns. We've overcome several disasters, including flooding in our capital, fatal tornadoes, and even a recent plane crash. And we bid farewell to Kentucky's first female governor. And our state capitol closed its doors for extended renovation. So looking back on the entire year that was 2025, Nat, I want to start with you. What are some things that stand out to you?
Well, this was my first year as a political operative, or however you want to say, and I think it was a great time to come into the Democratic Party because we had an amazing rural listening tour that we stopped in counties across the state. Cumberland County, I personally went to Paintsville, met a bunch of great people who were really excited to find out that they're not the only Democrat in town, you know, and get a little support. I got to travel the state for our Medicaid defense tour and hear stories from Kentuckians talking about why they support Medicaid, why they are feeling the effects of cuts from the bill, the federal budget. And then I think most exciting was the Democratic Party, the state Democratic Party. We had our biggest convention and yearly fundraiser in more than a decade with the DNC chair, Ken Martin, attending, which shows that he's taking Kentucky very seriously. He's taking the South very seriously. And to me, that was all very exciting, especially culminating in these big Democratic wins in November, which like a total rejection of Trump's most cruel and incompetent decisions. You saw people get out and not just elect governors that are Democrats in kind of more coastal states, but Mississippi broke its Republican supermajority.
Missouri.
Mississippi, I think. So you can edit this out.
You're all good.
It was Mississippi.
Oh, it was Mississippi.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Trey. Yes, and then Georgia elected two, I believe, Democrats to statewide office, non-federal races for the first time since 2006. So I feel like I'm at the right place at the right time, and it's a great time to join this movement too.
Trey, what were the highlights of 2025 to you?
Look, this year politically has been drinking from a fire hose. You know, the president, like, we're with Zelensky, we're against Zelensky. We have tariffs, we don't have tariffs. We're going to cut things, we're not going to cut things. The Epstein files, no, release them all because they're horrible people. No, they're not a big deal. Okay, now we're going to release. This is the most upside down, crazy, just incomprehensible political year that I can remember. It's just it's forget 24-hour news cycle. It's like a 10-minute news cycle. You know, just in the last 24 hours, we've had Trump and Putin agreeing on a deal that they're pressuring Zelensky to get. RFK Jr. changes the CDC website to say that that vaccines cause autism. You know, that's literally in the last like 12 hours that those things have happened. It's just it'd be hard to say like what the biggest story of the year is to me because just there's something different every day, and it's all like some of it's head scratchingly stupid, some of it's like confounding. It's the weirdest year I've seen.
Well, I'm going to orient more national here, but you know, you make a point. We're drinking from a fire hose of sorts, and this has been just year one of a 4-year administration. What does that really, you know, kind of lend in your mind of what we can expect next year in terms of just how quickly the news cycle may be going through?
At some levels by design. You know, this is not a new thing. Rahm Emanuel, this was his strategy when he took office as chief of staff for Barack Obama, was just flood the box with stuff because they can't stop it all. And you know, especially if you flood the box with crazy stuff, then other stuff that you actually want to do might be able to slip through unnoticed. You know, so I think that you're probably going to see more of this because it's kind of it's some level by design to just flood the gates with everything and see what sticks.
Nat, one thing I've not yet mentioned here is our governor has been spending a lot of time this year raising his national profile. What do you think of that, and how that may lend some of the prospects many people are thinking about him possibly running for the White House?
I think that his role in national politics is not just good for Kentucky and certainly not just good for Bashir, but I think it's good for America because he's consistently been talking about things that really affect whether a person can pay bills at the start of the month or whether they can afford to go to college or put off their dreams after high school, whether they have to pick medication or food on the table. Those are the things that he talks about, and I think that's exactly where lawmakers on both sides should be focusing their attention. Not necessarily to the big flashy DEI headlines or anything like that, but on whether or not people in Harlan County can see a doctor. So I'm hopeful that through all the chaos, we can find more Bashirs of the world who are setting the tone, changing the conversation to a place where we can all start talking about what can we do to make sure that people are not going hungry and losing health care.
Bodie, I want to say congratulations to Governor Andy Beshear. He is no longer trailing Stephen A. Smith in presidential polls. He is now tied with Jon Stewart at 2%, but he's no longer trailing Stephen A. Smith. So good job, Governor. Proud of you.
We will see what happens in the coming years. We still got about halfway more to go in that administration.